At this time, I would like to welcome the board to join me and welcome Officer Christopher Canal, is with the New York Police Department Transit District 23. And he joins us tonight along with his wife Janine and his sons Christian and Jake and some of his extended family. So if you may join me. Officer Canal. Whereas on October 8th, 2015, the Riverhead Central School District bus was involved in a serious accident on the Long Island Expressway. And whereas the bus sustained significant structural damage and burst into flames, trapping the driver and monitor. And whereas Christopher Canal, an off-duty New York City police officer who was passing the bus at the time of the accident, entered the burning vehicle to assist the monitor off the bus and then went to the driver's door to pull the driver out from under the collapsed steering column. And whereas, without heroic actions of our Officer Canal, the driver and monitor would have certainly suffered more serious injury or possibly death. Now therefore, let it be resolved that the Board of Education of Riverhead Central School District hereby thanks Officer Christopher Canal for his selfless and heroic actions on October 8, 2015. Takes great pleasure in recognizing Officer Christopher Canal and herewith expresses its sincere gratitude for the actions he took, saving the lives of the employees of the Riverhead Central School District, and it further resolved that this resolution be spread upon the permanent minutes of the board and that copies be sent to Officer Christopher Canal to share with his family. Our deepest gratitude. I can't say enough. We're also very thankful that our school bus monitor, Grace Robertson, could join us tonight. She's right here in front. And the passenger driver did not make it tonight, but he's at home and he extends his heartfelt thanks to Officer Canal. Thank you. anybody wants to leave at this time, don't have to stay for any budget. We understand. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. Motion. Of the published agenda. Thank you, Mr. Grass. Thank you, Mr. Meyer. Any questions, comments? All in favor? Motion carried. Okay, at this time we have an opportunity for members of the community to address the Board of Education on agenda topics only. Anyone? No? Okay. Yes.
Thompson Aquabog. Category 3 consent agenda. The budget transfers. I spoke at the last Board of Ed meeting asking about some budget transfers that had occurred and the use of codes. Why are we using codes again? What are the accounts that these funds are being moved from and to?
This is standard practice for the agenda for school boards. So, if you want to go into further detail.
Doesn't the public have a right to know how taxpayer money is being moved around and being used? I mean, what is the purpose of using codes?
Well, the codes are public knowledge.
Okay, but I would like to know what the funds are for. The codes don't tell me anything as a taxpayer. Is that something that we can go and
Well,
the actual accounts instead of codes?
No, that's standard practice. These transfers tonight are for additional students that are attending the charter school in their district.
Is there a law against that?
No.
What's,
If we have students in our district attending the
what
charter
is the
school,
purpose though? What is the purpose of using codes?
it's standard practice.
A practice of what?
Each 4 digits mean a certain, like the first 4 digits, Mr. Schneider, what's 2110? I don't remember offhand.
Well, the first 4 digits are called the function code, and they deal with certain operations of the district. 2110 is instructional matters and general education.
Thank you. And then the 473,
I couldn't hear because it had me turned away from it.
the 2110, the
Sure.
first four digits are the functional.
I can repeat. The first 4 digits, this is the Uniform Chart of Accounts, is
Okay.
published by the State Comptroller's Office. First 4 digits are called the function code. 2110 refers to instructional matters, general education.
Okay. And the 9,000 codes for,
9,000 codes are generally benefit codes.
okay, now I'm gonna pull up the budget and I'll find the codes that way and I'll address the board at the next meeting with the information.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Motion to approve the consent agenda. Thank you, Mr. Grass. Thank you, Ms. Lance. Any questions, comments? All in favor? Motion carried. There's no old business. Into new business. Approval of the resolution for APPR hardship waiver. Motion? Thank you, Mr. Grass. Thank you, Mr. Meyer. Any discussion? Mr. Dorr?
I'm sure it was done, but I'm just confirming all of our evaluation data was sent to the state and all the requirements for the hardship was met.
Yes, sir. We haven't heard back from them.
Anyone else? Yeah. All in favor? Motion carried. Approval of repair reserve. Motion to approve a transfer of $152,732 from an unanticipated access cost aid received this August and to be transferred to our repair reserve fund. Thank you, Mr. Meyer. Thank you, Mr. Cross. Any questions? All in favor? Motion carried. We have some change orders. As the high school is wrapping up, we need door frames and flooring in 2 rooms, asbestos removal. We're also receiving a $20,000 credit. Yes, we like credit. Middle school ductwork, Roanoke lead paint, water damage, Pulaski steel construction window repair, and roof leaders. Motion? Thank you, Mr. Myers. Second. Thank you, Ms. Lance. Any questions?
Question.
Yes.
Was credit something that was in the original bid, or was that something negotiated?
It was in the original bid.
Okay.
It was for Chile. All in favor? Motion carried. I know this question came up last meeting. We had a meeting. Approval of concession trailer rates. Motion? Thank you, Mr. Myers. Second. Mr. Gross. Discussion? Mr. Dorf?
I'm just concerned with the amount that we are charging will cover the cost of appropriating the gas and the employee that we'll have there with the trailer. I don't want this to be something where we're losing money by letting this out.
Yes, and I know that came up for discussion, and what we're doing is really going to monitor the cost so that we can determine if we need to change that at all as we go forward.
Yes, Mr. Gross.
What kind of provision has been made for the training of people that will be using the concession stand?
We've had a number of different trainings so far, and we invite people, whether it's a booster club or a PTO, whoever is going to be using the concession stand, we invite them for a training with our Director of Food Services, along with facilities people who maintain the vehicle, and have a training beforehand to acclimate people. And we also have someone on site from the district to oversee things at this point as well, that are normally there working anyway.
Does this price that's set in this policy also cover the district moving the concession trailer on site and off site?
Right now, we're keeping it at the bus garage, so it's a very minimal movement, just from the bus garage, usually right at the football field there, so it's not a long distance. But as I said, we're monitoring the costs altogether to see if we need to raise these rates at all as we go forward. This is new to us, using the concession trailer, and as I said, we're just looking to get fees from the organization to help maintain the trailer at this point, and then we're keeping records of exactly what the costs are, and if we need to address this and change it, we'll do so.
I just wanted to be clear, this isn't the policy, this is just a resolution that we're passing on an annual basis, is that correct?
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
And my question is, what if there's overlap with groups or classes or PTOs or boosters, that, how is preference given? Is it first come, first serve? Are they allowed to, sort of pre-order a season?
We're working that out as we speak. Obviously, we have preference, all preference goes to district functions. So in other words, if an outside organization wanted to use it, the district gets first precedent, and we're trying to just work well with each other. The Aquabot PTO had requested to use it, and the middle school football team said, fine, you can use it, we'll make other arrangements for that day. So we're doing it right now, we're figuring it all out as we go along, and just trying to make sure that we work with everyone. We haven't had that many requests other than the PTO, and it ended up raining that day, and they ended up not using it anyway.
What would be an example of a district-approved not-for-profit organization that would want it for the entire season?
I'm just trying, like a booster club.
Okay, because I thought class 1 group is booster or PTO. I'm just trying to understand with class 2 group, it says district-approved not-for-profit organization charging no admission fee. And then it has $250 per season.
Well, that would be like a PT, what? PAL?
So I'm just curious, how would those not overlap with a particular season for our sports or PTOs or booster? My concern is, I don't want a class 2 group taking an entire season, and then we have someone in a class 1 group that we prefer, obviously, to have use of that, but we've already locked out a season with a class 2 group.
Where, as I said, everything goes, it has to be, the district gets first dibs on using the trailer, so for all of our sports events that are going on, that would come first. And then any other class organization would have to be,
Okay, so then in my mind, we shouldn't even give a class 2 per season rate, because we should take those on a request by request basis, because we might be locking out one of our own clubs or organizations. Do you see what I mean?
Yes, I do.
So in my mind, I think that the class 2 group should only be per use, and I think that use should be with a higher fee, because that isn't one of our own groups or organizations or PTOs or booster clubs. So in my mind, that should be a larger cost per use than the class 1. I'm not going to vote in favor of having it per season, because I'm certain that that's going to overlap with one of our own school district organizations.
We mirrored the current facility use plan agreement that we have, as I said, at this point, so that we could monitor and determine anything that needs to be changed. But this is an exact mirror of our current facilities use agreement that we put out there for anyone that needs to use our fields or our buildings during the year.
Any other questions? All in favor? Motion carried.
Opposed.
Are you opposed?
Well, like I said, there are certain provisions in here that I think don't make sense in terms of how we're looking at this, so I'm not going to approve a class 2 group to take it for a whole season if that might not work for our football booster club or our lacrosse or any other organization that might want to use it. I just think it's kind of, if you remove that part of it, I think that would make more sense, that's all.
All right, so we have 6 in favor, Ms. Holtz. Not approved. Yeah, there's a deadline. Okay. Approval of agreement, motion. Thank you, Mr. Grass, second. Thank you, Mr. Dorr. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carried. Approval overnight out-of-state field trips. One is... No, I didn't. Yeah. Field trip, French Club, and the other one is to Massachusetts, for Music in the Parks. Motion. Thank you, Ms. Land, second. Thank you, Mr. Meyer. Any discussion?
I had brought this up before, that I'd like to get some information about what's considered a field trip that's sponsored by the district and what's considered a school activity that's not sponsored. This is information that I've been requesting for many months, and I'm just not comfortable requiring parents and guardians to pay for certain activities that might be curriculum-based when other curriculum-based activities are funded by the district. I think there should be some overall parity to this, and I would really request that the Board of Ed look at this so that we know which ones are being at the cost of the district and which ones are not. And that's just, something